Okay. Oh, get a boombox in the background. Okay, good tip, Michelle. I love that you said boombox too. Like that is totally like that's totally my jam. I love it. Like boombox. Yes. All right, you guys. So it's so good to be with you all. I know we have, people joining us from the beach, from vacation. And I'm excited about this topic. I feel like every time I go on vacation or summer comes or anything like that, this topic is one that I'm like racking my brain about. And tonight we're really going to talk about how to grow your business during the summer and why your schedule probably looks a little bit different than it does, maybe August to May. Most people within the team have kids, or they teach in schools, or they have something where there's summer schedule, they're taking vacation. So I hope that this will give you some good tips. And those of you that are watching live, I want you guys to offer tips too. If there's anything that you think about that, like you're like, oh, I've heard this, or this is something I do, please don't be shy in to jump in. But I will tell you, a few things I really was very reflective over when I just came off of a trip, the things that I did that I was still able to touch business and still, gain customers, help people, individual things. But I didn't feel like I worked at all. Honestly, like I felt 100% with my family, and my family even really noticed, like, you were never on your phone. Like they were like, you weren't on your phone, and they're definitely not used to that from me. So I will say that. I'll call myself out and say that. Everything that I am sharing with you tonight are because I have lived it and I have made a lot of these sort of mistakes. And if I can ever help guide and prevent you all from doing some of those things and to have a more balanced approach to personal and professional business life, I really do think you can go a lot further. So, all right. So the first thing that I want to just say is I want you to think about a little bit of progress adds up to big results. I love sports. And if I want you to think about, do you guys know about football, like scoring football and stuff? Yes. Okay. All right. So basically, you've got 100 yards on the field and you're taking the ball from one end of the field to the other, right? And there is downs, they're running, they're throwing, and they're trying to move. They just want to move 10 yards at a time. Of course, if they can get more, that's great. But their goal is to move 10 yards so they can get another set of downs to move another set of 10 yards. Right. So I want you to really think about what that is like. It's a little bit of progress. It's a little bit, it's 4 yards here and 6 yards here. That adds up to 10. Great. We reset, we move on. And just a little bit, 5 minutes here, 10 minutes here, not stopping, turning over the ball and going the other direction. And you have to restart further back than where you started. And I know that that's like a football analogy, but it makes total sense. You can use it. I don't know any other sports that you could use that in. I was like, soccer doesn't work that way, like with the goal setting and the moving, but you get what I'm trying to say is that just a little bit of progress adds up. And I don't want you to hear what I'm not saying. I am not saying like, don't go on vacation. I'm not saying like be with your family. That is not at all what I am saying. Okay. But I do want to just share a few tips that will set you up for success. So you can use this not only when you're vacationing this summer, but you can use it on the weekends. You can use it when you're taking a day and you're doing these things. You can apply this to your really busy days during the school year too. So the first tip that I have for you, and you may, if you're a note taker, these may be something that I'd love for you to walk away with one thing. I'm going to give you some tips, but one tip that you really are going to walk away and implement. Like you're going to implement it this weekend because it's July 4th weekend, So the first thing is to plan ahead. And plan ahead, what I mean is, what kind of trip are you going on? Look and see exactly what you're doing each day. Is it a trip where you're like, we're going to this theme park, or we've got this excursion, or we've got that, or is it a trip where you're like, we're going for a week and we're just beaching and pulling it? That's actually a lot easier. That's a lot easier to work in than like if you're like doing, like we're going to Disney park, or we're doing like an extreme all day activity, but it can still be done. So plan ahead and really, truly think about what it is and where you can fit it in. And so for an example, I'm going to give you some examples of what this looks like in my world, when I've done it before. So like a beach day. If you know that like you're going to be at the beach or you're going to be at the pool, or it's just a casual, relaxing family day. The first thing is maybe you get up 30 minutes early. You're not going to go out to the beach like at 6 a.m. and be there till 9 p.m. at night without any break, right? You're going to have a break at some point during the day. So maybe it's 30 minutes early. Maybe you're like, hey, kids get up, we're going to have breakfast, family's up, whatever you're doing. And then, but you're going to get up 30 minutes early, 15 minutes early, whatever your time is. For me, 30 minutes works. I feel like I can get a lot done in 30 minutes. I don't even go out. They don't even know I'm awake. I'm in my bed, like doing my little stuff, and so you do it 30 minutes, but it is intentional. It's like, okay, I'm gonna set my timer for 30 minutes. I'm gonna work and then I'm done. Like, imagine what that feels like. Like you've done that. Maybe it's 15 minutes, maybe it's 10. Another thing that you can do during like a beach or a pool day is lunchtime. A lot of times lunchtime or afternoon, you'll take a little break, you'll come in, get out of the sun for an hour or two, excuse yourself to your bedroom or excuse yourself to the back porch. Another tip is when everyone is showering. Okay. Like you've been at the pool all day long, you've been at the beach all day long, and everybody disperses, they're like hot, they're sweaty, they're getting everything off of them. Take an extra 10 minutes, an extra 15 minutes. Nobody will know you're missing. Okay. Like they won't. Just take an extra 10 minutes and just, sit there and knock some stuff out. Make sure that you set your timer so it doesn't end up being like an hour. All right. You're taking time away from your family. Like, be intentional about it. So that's something that you can do for like very casual days that don't have a lot of structure. Those days that you have structure, if you have like a vacation that's like 7 days and every day is like all day long, you know what? It may be some of those times where you're waiting in line. You may say, hey, during this next, we've got a 45-minute line. I'm going to wait in. I'm going to spend 15 minutes, working my business. So I'm not ignoring you. I'm here, but, and just try to squeeze it in with that, because those are a little bit more challenging, right? Maybe you have a vacation where you've got some things that are planned and you got some relaxed days in between. Those days that are planned, that are booked, don't do anything. Just say, I'm not going to do anything. I'm going to answer messages, but I'm not going to be intentional about my connections. But the days that you're chilling and you're just relaxing, maybe you do 2 30-minute segments or 2 15-minute segments, whatever works for your commitment and your time. So the number one thing is to plan and to like have that plan. The number two thing is to share with the people you're going with, to say to them, to share what your plan is, but stick to it, And so one of the things is put down your phone when you're with them. Be intentional about that. Like literally take it and put it in the other room. This is something that I, full transparency, was terrible at. Oh, terrible. I think the only time I was good at it was this past vacation I just took. But I did plan ahead, and I was like, I had a plan in my mind. Where am I putting it? I actually took my home docking station with me, put it in the bathroom of wherever I stayed, and I put my phone there. So when I was hanging out with my family, I didn't have it. So there wasn't any way. I didn't even have it on me. I wasn't tempted. Everybody, if they're sitting there looking at it, I wasn't tempted. And people do notice that, especially if they're used to you being on your phone a lot. Right. And I know my family is. So that is something, pay attention. And when you are with them, when you're at dinner, when you're having those moments, be in the moments with them. And then you won't have that guilt feeling, because you're not on your phone all the time. Even if you're not even doing like Thrive stuff, people automatically assume you are. Right. So 3 other things that I have, and then I want to open it up and I want you guys to share as well, is the intentional. I know I mentioned this, but like really truly being intentional during that planning. So what does it look like when you're in that room, or when you're on the porch, or when you're doing something? Like, what does that look like? What are you doing during that time? My suggestion is to cut back on the things that you normally do. If you're normally posting something every single day, you're jammed up in your stories, you're doing 10 reach outs and 10 follow-ups, and you got 2 hours worth of business, intentional business that you're doing. Like, what can you cut out during that time? Is it maybe not posting every single day? That's cool. Like, Don't post every single day. Maybe it's not being as intentional in your stories about your business. Maybe you're sharing other things. Maybe you're sharing your vacations on your story and you're weaving it in there. But what is it that you can cut out? Just do the really things. What is it that drives your business? And so really, truly just do those things. And the last thing is be prepared in person, like on vacation when you're in person. So maybe having a sample with you, having some Activate with you, or some of those easily sampled products, because you have an opportunity to meet people wherever you're going. And that could be at a 4th of July party. It could be traveling to the beach. It could be anywhere that you're going. Is just being prepared when somebody says, hey, what is that sticker on your arm? You know what you're going to say, and you know how you're going to follow up with that person. And the best way is to get connected with them on social media. Hey, I'll send you some info. Like, let's connect. Are you on Facebook? Or are you on Instagram? And like get connected with them. And then you can follow up with them. You can follow up with them. You get back to your place that night. You can follow up with them. You get back, screenshot it, take yourself a little note, like what they said. But just being prepared in front of you. So one of the other things, like one of the quotes that I love so much, I don't know if y'all are, if there are any Jim Rohn fans, but I think that he has just some really amazing quotes. And one of the quote that always stands out to me when I think about where we're at right now, we're closing out 1 month, 2 more months of this incredible VIP bonus. And I think about it and I'm like, okay, where do you want to be at the end, right? And you have two choices. Everyone, you have to choose. And the quote that Jim Rohn says, I'm going to actually read it to you guys. Everyone must choose one of two pains: the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. The pain of discipline or the pain of regret. And I think when you look at that, the discipline doesn't have to be 18 hours a day. It doesn't have to be that. Like, you have to enjoy your time. But the pain of discipline, of leaving things alone, it's harder to come back. Or the pain of regret, I didn't give it my all. Because at the end of this, at the end of August, you can look at yourself in the mirror and you can say, you know what? I did or I didn't reach my goal, but I gave it my all. Like, I gave it everything I had. There isn't anything that I regret. I've been in both pains. Personally speaking, I've been in both pains. I've been in the pain where I didn't give it my all and I am like, oh, I regret it so much. There's so much regret and there isn't anything you can do about it. Or there's simple pain of discipline. And so the other thing I will say, I just want to shout out Ashley, because this is something she totally did on herself. She's at the beach, which kudos for you for getting on while you're on vacation tonight. But one of the things that Ashley did prior to leaving was putting me in three-way messages with everyone who was getting a sample and who was new into there. And she's like, hey, she prepped me for it. She did the messages on her day out. And that is something that's really, really great. I've got the names written down. I know who to check into. She's checking in, but they have questions. Like, I know, I'm hyper aware that these are the messages that are coming in because she planned for that. She planned and said, and I said, yes, you need to go be with your family. I will help them. I will be the primary contact. They need something during the day. I'm there. Go enjoy. So that's part of like the planning process. So kudos to you. So does anybody have any questions or any tips that you guys want to share that have helped you in the past, or things maybe that you've done that you wish you wouldn't have?
Hey, I will go ahead and tell you with that, with my reach outs, like this morning, because I had already prepped you for those people that were sampling, getting a sample and all of that. I left those to last. So I have basically ranked my reach outs of who's most important. And the most important ones are the ones that you're not in a chat with. And so I started with the most important people first that I'm still working on, and then worked my way down through my list. And that way I knew that those people that were in a three-way chat already had someone else that was going to be there for them. And so that way I'm basically doubling my reach out, so to speak, in a way, but with less time because of that three-way chat, and because I have that support there. So that's definitely something that if you are busy, rank your reach outs. Who's most important? Who's at the top? And then I will also tell you those people that I wasn't able to get to this morning at lunch when we came in to eat, I fixed everyone's lunch. And then while they were eating, I sat down and reached out to the next few people. And I will tell you, we were at the pool all day today. We were sitting down just a while ago after we ate dinner. And my kids made a point to tell me, Mom, you didn't have your phone today. And my sister-in-law even said, she was like, yeah, somebody said something about you not having your phone. And, you were like, I don't even know where my phone's at. So they do pay attention. They pay attention big time.
So good. I'm so proud of you. And it doesn't take like that little bit of time incrementally. Like it doesn't take a lot of time. It's just going and doing that. So it is so true that people don't notice. And I want you to think too, like kids and anybody, family, anybody that you're with, when you're working a business from your phone, they see you on your phone, they automatically assume that you're working. Okay. You could be playing a game. You could be scrolling Facebook, not working, but they automatically assume it. So just be aware that that is happening, and that kids probably think that too, and so if you ever are curious, I know one thing I have been diligently working on is getting my screen time down. Go and look on your screen time in your settings and see where you spend your time. Your messenger really should be the top priority, right? It should be way up. See how much time you spend on Facebook and on Instagram. It'll tell you if you can cut down on your scrolling, and then other things like and a lot of times mine is like podcast or music. So my hours are really long that I'm on it, because a lot of times I'm listening to things. But I have tried to really be intentional about cutting things down, because you can catch yourself today. I did it today. I was sitting in a parking lot and I looked down and I was like 18 minutes later. I have no idea what I did for 18 minutes. No idea, but waste time. Seriously. So you just have to be really aware of it all the time, even though I know better. I look down and I'm like, well, I guess I was just in a mind fog for 18 minutes. I was watching a bunch of stuff. I was on social media just watching. I don't even know what I was watching. I can't tell you what I was watching, but I wasted 18 minutes. So Vanessa, Michelle, Linda, Ashley, do you guys have any questions or anything to add that has helped you in the past? You don't have to, but I want to offer the floor to you. Okay. So what we're going to do our last 11 minutes. And if you have to go, don't feel like you have to stay on. But the last 11 minutes we're going to spend, and we're just going to do a 10. Yes, Michelle. Yes, we're going to do just a 10-minute. And I'll show you this. This is actually a great exercise, Michelle, for what you just said. I'll show you how much you can get done in the next 10 minutes. All right. And how many connections that you can make. So it does really add up. I'm telling you, 5 minutes. I cannot tell you how many 5-minute increments that I do throughout the day, especially I'm carpooling. I don't know, that's my full-time job right now is carpool and driving people all over. So, yes, Ashley. Yes. Good to see you. Have fun. Enjoy yourself. Okay. So we're going to just do 10-minute. We're going to do 10-minute increments. So what we'll do first is I want you guys to get out your phone and take a little screenshot of this, and we're going to put it in our stories. Okay. And we're just going to, you could just say something like, maybe you just say, hey, learning tips on how to grow our business during the summer, during busy times. Or you can just say something like, you're never alone here. You have a community, you have, resources, whatever you want to say, but we're going to do that. And then if you want to tag if you want to tag anybody on here, tag. Yes, connecting everywhere you go. I love that, Vanessa. Samples. Perfect. All right. So we'll do that just really fast. And then we're going to move on to something else. Hey, Melissa. Oh, that's okay. Michelle, if you're on your phone, screenshot it. You can screenshot this and then you can add it. You can just minimize it. I think you'll be able to minimize it. Melissa, we are just doing a quick income producing activities for our last 10 minutes. Okay. All right, so the next thing that we're going to do, and that is one thing I will tell you guys, anytime you're on a Zoom like this, just take a photo and put it up there, because people really love behind the scenes kind of, looking, and they want to know. They're like, what, because there's so many people out there that don't, they have to pay for training or they don't get training, and they just don't have a lot of the resources that we have here. So, just know that's always a really good thing to do. So the next thing we're going to do, pick Instagram or Facebook. I believe most of you guys, except for maybe Ashley Randall, you may be still heavier on Instagram, but pick whatever platform. And I want you to go to your stories. Hopefully you have a story up, and I want you to go to your very, very last story. And I want you to go to the very bottom, and I want you to see how many viewers you have. Okay. And then I want you to click on that number, and I want you to quickly sort of go through them. And if you see a name that you do not know, or you're like, oh, I haven't talked to that person in the last 7 days, and they're not a thriver, or they're not someone that you're not actively talking to them, I want you to click on their name, and I want you to go to their profile and give them a little of the 3-2-1, which, if you're new to the 3-2-1, it's 3 likes or hearts on their last 3 posts, 2 genuine comments, and watch their stories and make a genuine connection with their stories with a question. All right. So we're going to do that for about 3 minutes, and let's just see. I want to know, actually, we're going to do that for 6 minutes, and I want to see how many people you guys, be very intentional about this. See how many people you can do. I'm going to set the timer for 5 minutes, and we'll see how many people you can get through in 5 minutes. Okay, that's 5 minutes. So how many people did you guys talk to? I talked to 6 people. Did anybody talk to more than one? Type it in the chat or unmute. Linda, did you unmute?
Just, I didn't really do stories over the weekend, so I was trying to find where I had shotted
Yeah,
before.
shot it. Uh-huh.
And just going through, and one person was just like video after video after video, and then this of like the same thing of some lady cooking, and then the second person was just I think about her church. So I just didn't really get into the last part of it.
Okay. Okay.
Does that make sense?
So yeah, no, it's totally cool. So okay, so Ashley, you did 3. So you guys let me know how many you guys got done. So one of the things I'll tell you exactly step by step how I sort of went about it. So I go down to the very, very bottom, like right at the bottom down here, where it says, and then it's in the order, like, so the newest people, they're always bold that you haven't looked at. So I will just scroll down and I'm like, oh, okay, these are people I regularly talk to, these are people, on that are thrivers, that sort of thing. But then when the first person I see that I'm like, oh, like I haven't talked to that person in forever. I don't overthink it. I literally will just go, I click on their face, I go to view profile, I see what their last like post or 2 is. And I'm like, oh, okay, they just posted a day or 2 ago. And just to make sure like nothing, something like bad or negative hasn't happened. I don't want to be insensitive. And so I will just pop over there and then I literally go straight to their message box and see what my last message was. And then I just say something, based on their last post. Like this last one, I wasn't even really sure what to say to her. So this is what I said. And she already messaged. I said, hey, happy summer. I was thinking of you and I wanted to pop over and say hello. What's your summer up to so far? She already messaged me back. Like I haven't talked to her since February. Okay, but she's watching my stories. So, those are the sort of things that's like, you guys, something that you can do, you see in like 5 minutes. And once you get used to it, you can knock out. I mean, even if you knocked out 4 or 5 people in 5 minutes, I mean, those are connections, right? And those
You did the 3, 2, 1 that quickly? I mean, the 3 and the 2?
No, not all the way for the 3 and the 2, but I did like, and I went into it. Yes. But yes, if you're doing, but that is the thing, like you can see those people and you message them. And then once you message them, you're starting to build those connections with them and you 3, 2, 1 with them. And all of those things, you guys, these are your warm market. These people who are already watching your stories, right? And so what I will do, like if I'm going through like a 10-minute segment, I will look at that. Like I may take those 6 people, and out of those 6 people, I'm like, oh, okay, these 4, some of them I'm like, oh, I just haven't talked to them in a while. They used to thrive, or maybe they're an old team member or something like that. But if it's someone that you really that has never thrived before and you're still talking to them, you go back and then you can pop in and you can do the 3, 2, 1. And you don't necessarily have to, if you're doing like a focus, like a really quick focused income producing activities, you can shorten things up. But just know that you can really reach a lot of people in a short period of time. So Melissa, that's awesome. Vanessa, did you want to say something? Oh, I saw you unmute. Oh, she may not know she's unmuted. No worries. All right, Melissa, that's awesome. Good job. So, you guys, one of the things is just really to stay like super laser focused with your connections. And I will encourage you that if you have not watched the 10 by 10 video, or you haven't applied the 10 by 10 video training, I'm going to drop it. I'm actually going to go find it on YouTube. Because it's unlisted. So you can't just like go to my YouTube channel and see it. I have to actually send you guys the link. So I'm going to go and try and find it for you guys and pop it into the chat. it is a great thing. Oh, okay. Yep. No worries, Vanessa. I saw you were unmuted, so I didn't know if you wanted to say something. Drive safe. But it is a great way for you to get super laser focused and organized. And even when you're being very slow and being very intentional with your 10 like connections on your hundreds list, then you can, I mean, you can really truly get it done in 20 minutes. Like get it done in 20 minutes. And that I will tell you, if you're focused, really laser focused on 100 people, and that is it, your current thrivers and 100 people, and just loving and getting to know those people and really figuring out how you can serve them. And the reason it's like 100 is because, you know, that's a lot of people. It's 10 people a day for 10 days, and you just keep the rotation. I'll send you guys the training. I know some of y'all have probably watched it, but if you are not applying it, I would challenge you. A new month is coming up. I want you to think about the law of just like percentages. Let's just say you have a 5% success rate, 5%, which is pretty low if you're using this system. 5%. That's 5 new thrivers every single month. Now imagine as you get more consistent and you get better at it, imagine if you had a 10% success rate, which is still pretty low when you're doing this system intentionally. That's 10 new thrivers a month. Okay, you really truly can build a big business in a small intentional time. So I hope this was helpful. I want to open it up for any sort of Q&A that you guys have before we hop off. Anybody have anything? Okay. All right, you guys. Well, tomorrow night, if you can, it's always a recording, so don't feel like you have to get on live. But tomorrow night is 9:00. Beth Graves will be leading our huddle. Obviously, there is 2 more days of this month, and do not get stressed out, you guys. If you are like, I'm not where I want to be right now, go in, know that the things you're doing these last 2 or 3 days will create momentum. Go into July doing something different than you did in June. If you're not where you want to be, do something different. And maybe that different is having a plan. Maybe that different is having a goal. If you want to hit the first rank of 4K, maybe it's breaking it down to how much volume you need each month or each day. I know that's always super intentional for me when I see the number and I can get focused on just that number versus the big number. So I hope that that is helpful. I am leading a working Zoom on Wednesday night at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you guys want to hop on. And Melissa, you're in Columbia. I will tell you this. We'll put it in the team chat, but 8:00 Wednesday morning on ABC morning show, I'm going to be live on there talking about Thrive. So, on the morning show on ABC. I don't know. I'll have to like send it to you. I know it is a total Instagram connection. I got connected with one of the, I don't know what you call the people who talk. And yeah, so I don't know exactly what I'm going to be saying yet. I've got to come up with my questions that I want them to ask me. But I'm going to set it up for, like people to educate them a little bit about the Thrive experience. So hopefully that'll be something that we all can use as a team. So 8:00, it's 8:00 anchors. Thank you. Yeah, anchors. 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I don't know if you probably can't watch it unless you're local. I don't think I can watch it here in Charlotte, but I am pretty sure that I'll probably be able to get a cut of it maybe and be able to put it like, we could use it. I don't know. I think it just gives us some validation, and who knows? I mean, it could be a total flop. I don't know. I've never done anything like it before, but I was like, when they asked, I was like, yeah, can I talk about Thrive? And they were like, yes. So, all right, you guys, it's good to see you guys. Reach out. I am here. I am around all week. And Linda, I'll pop in and read your message and respond back. All right. Good night, you guys. Have a great day. See you soon.